Welcome back
everyone?
to Tactical Fundraising Action 3. We've got Metal Gear Solid 2 HD with PlatonicGuy versus ApacheSmash, and we've got Tyler 2022 here on the mic, and I'm going to turn the show right over to you, my friend.
Thank you so much. So yeah, we're getting to the home stretch of the marathon, and just a quick update before we actually do get started is that right after this we have Silent Hill 1 by Couchman, Metal Gear Solid 1 by Metal Gear Solid, and then Mike Met will be doing Star Fox Adventures, and then we have met the bonus game of myself doing Metal Gear Solid 2, and so we're getting at the very end of this, and both these guys here, you've seen them before, they'll be doing MGS2 very easy. And yeah, I think without further ado, we can get this started. So they have requested a text countdown, so I'm gonna do that for them here in Discord real quick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And they're off. So this is going to be the full game now on very easy. Last time that you saw MGS2 was for the VR missions. So this one's going to be, the entirety of the game. And they're both playing on different languages. There's a little bit of a slight difference in terms of speed, but it's not that big of a deal. So for this first tanker section here, it's going to be pretty straightforward. And because we are on very easy, the main kind of gimmick is that the alerts do not carry over from one room to another. So you'll see a lot of these rooms that there's kind of breezing through, and most of the run is going to be focused on just pure movement and just trying to beat the bosses as fast as possible, rather than having to deal with guard placements and all that stuff. So they're really just kind of breezing through these rooms here. And the first kind of bit of randomness is going to be with the Olga fight, and that's because she can either walk in front of you or go to the left. So that could be a turning point at that stage. But yeah. And another thing is that they have a very big magazine. As you see, they have 106 bullets. You'll never really be needing to use that many, obviously, so it's just kind of funny how they have that out. You see right here, Cam's going to be seeing them, and just not going to be a problem. It's going to go right on ahead and go to the cutscene here. And, of course, very cutscene heavy, but won't really be having a lot of cutscenes till the end. So this is now going to be strictly just gameplay from now on. So the main thing that you want to do for this fight is that you really want these 4 headshots, and that's really all that you want to be going for, because anything else is going to be extra and just a waste of time. Looks like they both got a pretty good Olga. And yes, they are just about lined up. See, looks like Apache's a little bit ahead. But yeah, they both got really good Olgas, so yeah, look at that. They're, within 1 second or 2 of each other, so that's really good. So yeah, so now that that was like, the one turning point, now that they both, they got the same luck, now they're going to be just trying to be going ahead just based off of movement and just, getting through the rooms as fast as possible. Oh, and I just noticed, and I guess I'll have my good bit of airframe on here. Looks like we just hit the 1K mark. So, you mind telling us who was responsible for that?
Yep, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. Just waiting for the page to refresh. And as soon as I see it on my pager, I'll let you guys know.
All right, so that'll be pending, and so looks like there was a slight lead change while I was talking there. Looks like, I believe Apache had tried to roll down the stairs and was a little early on it, so now PlatonicGuy has a pretty decent lead, going into the engine room, which is a very interesting room. This room has seen a lot of different changes, and like, you would look at this room on very easy, normal, and European Extreme, and they're just all completely different, which is really cool. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Oh. Yeah, it's gonna drop right in front of that guard and then shoot out the radio. And doing this will cause backup to be called, but because of the very easy, like, sight being very limited, they're all just gonna line up and you're just gonna see something really interesting here coming up. And it looks like Apache did not take the caution, so he have to knock him out. Now they're getting back in sync. Oh, and Platonic a little slow, so he wasn't there exactly in time. That's unfortunate. Oh, and got knocked down again. So now Apache has retaken the lead. Not good. And just like that, one little mistake, and just the entire lead change, kind of similar to the MGS3 race, where like minimal mistakes are like really huge. Like, you need to play as perfect as possible, because most of this is just based off of just straight up movement. So if you mess up the room, especially for this game where they knock you down and it takes you a while to get back up. And does not get the alerts. And PlatonicGuy does, and this really shouldn't matter too much. Yep, he got past the 2 guards, and yeah, he'll be just fine.
All right, Tyler, I got the donation coming in
great.
here from Sniper Bano, donating $50. Good luck to the runners in the Metal Gear Solid 2 HD race. Thank you for putting us over the $1,000 mark. That is just fantastic and amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Sniper Bano. Appreciate it. A big 50. Now, for this guard rush here, you're just going to be seeing them just spamming the USP, and then once the last 3 guards show up, you just have to kind of go to the wall, and then just a quick 3 headshots. And again, looks like Apache has retaken the lead after that guard rush again. And now ladder glitch. So you didn't really see this for like VR, but there are a bit of glitches in this run. You see him doing a punch kick buffer onto the ladder, and kind of just drop straight down. Saves a fair bit of time. And for this one, it's just going to be your standard run to the side and then hold them up. You just want to be careful with some of these guards, though, because you can maybe like actually bump into one of them. And now we're going to see if they're going to be doing 2-spot camera. That's going to be another interesting diversion, possibly. I think they're both going for 2-spot. Oh, no? Okay, Apache's going for 3-spot, looks like. Let's see if Platonic goes for 2. And he is. Ooh. Don't tell me he took over with a digital camera. I saw him kind of switch over. I assume not, because yeah, okay. And with all 4 of those photos uploaded, now we're done with the tanker section, and Now we're officially done playing Snake. Now we're going to move on to the main character, Raiden, who is much better for like speedrun purposes because he has a cartwheel, which allows him to just go down these like long hallways a lot faster than Snake would. And this is going to be a definite slow start for this plant section. Like, this is mostly just like rehashing tutorial stuff, telling you like, how the game works, because you can optionally just play the plant chapter if you want. So partially in there for that, and also partially in there too, I think, reference back to like MGS1 where they kept on hammering you with all the codec calls and the tutorials. And looks like Apache is doing a little bit of a swag strat. He's going to be swimming in the air. Figures he has some time and is going to be showing this off for you guys. As you can see, does not get the cutscene here and just kind of swims over. And there's going to be 2 guards here, but they're going to be really easy to take care of. But one thing that is sort of important that was, I can't remember if it was found by me, but like it was found at least like 6 months ago. But getting a caution in this room is actually faster because like beforehand we had just used to just wake them up and then like knock them out, but they actually just like letting the caution goes out for whatever reason, the like elevator comes down 1 second faster. It's very very strange, but that is the case. As you see, they'll probably both be going behind the forklift here. Yep. Oh. And Platonic's venting out some of his frustration on the guard real quick before he has to go behind the forklift. So is French or Japanese text faster? There is a speed difference. I cannot remember exactly off the top of my head, but French and Japanese are pretty close to being the fastest language to actually play on. I believe D-Lam's crunched some of the numbers down, so he may be able to answer that in chat, but I don't know that information entirely. And now, compared to the tanker, where, it was a big wide place and there's a lot of, like, different ways to go, this one's kind of linear, and it's just 2 whole shells, and there's these struts, and they're all connected. So this feels very linear and feels kind of, I don't know, kind of feels closed in rather than like the tanker felt very wide open here. And now they're going to be telling us about the node, which we'll never be using, because the only reason that you go into that is for the radar, but you'll only be needing that. Or to change your settings, actually, which is interesting, but not needed. Now we're going to be suggested to go into hanging mode, but of course we're speedrunning, so we can't be doing that. That's way too slow. So we're just going to be doing cartwheels across. And just like that, the bridge is done with. Looks like Apache's still holding a slight lead going into this. Now we're going to be beating Pliskin, not Snake, Pliskin, and getting the SOCOM, even though we already have the like M9, which typically you wouldn't have it this early, but on very easy, they literally just give it to you like right under by the gate there. And next cutscene for Fortune and the famous Dud. Won't be able to see that though, unfortunately. And the most like beneficial thing to playing on New Game Plus, which you may have noticed that they are playing on, is that for the summon cutscene, you're actually able to like skip the like little bombing tutorial, both of them. So that's like the biggest benefit. So it's been rumored to save about 2 or 3 minutes, but that is yet to be confirmed. I think we've gotten like 4 or 5 different answers. I'm from Texas. That is me. Don't believe many. Yes, I am the real Texan here. And this is like the final bit of the like cutscene heavy intro. Now we've actually started to play the plant, and now we're doing bomb disposal, which is kind of the first real challenge of plants. As you'll see, they'll both be going to Stretd. You know, about 1 or 2 years ago, we would, pretty much be like going south and doing similar strats to what you would see on like European Extreme, but thanks to people like Mac, D-Limes, Apache, myself, and many others who have ran very easy, we've kind of optimized this route quite a bit into what it is right now. And you'll just see right here how bad their vision is, because I see he's right in front of him. He has to like get right next to him, and then he can finally see him. I'm taking an intentional alert here as well. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I actually had enough time. Looks like that was pretty late into the call. Guess you have just enough time to trank him. Now for the D bridge, gonna be one guy that you have to kind of knock into because he'll be facing you. Or you can just trank him. Either or will work. And as you can also see, tranking guards, once in the body, just takes them down immediately. So that's going to be really helpful for some of these rooms to get across, just, trying to get through the room as fast as possible and just run and gun. Apache's still cementing his lead, so won't really be seeing another lead change for a while unless something major happens. Maybe until Fortune. Oh. Little hiccup on the codec skip, but not that big of a deal. This one is peculiarly underneath the Harrier, so possibly you want to go into prone. And then we saw that right there on the right-hand screen was the coolant rise. And that is by going off of the coolant while you're rising up will cancel the get up animation and is a little bit faster. And you'll be seeing that again in Strat A. So very useful strat. And onto the EF bridge here, I have a mandatory codec call from Mr. X, as he calls himself. And I believe they pick up a Claymore here, or maybe it's on the second trip back. Or maybe not at all. Maybe it's on the second trip back. I believe that Claymore pickup is... Oh no, looks like Platonic did go for it. Fortunately. So maybe that was like a safety thing, because I do remember, picking up a Claymore being very beneficial because of the Fat Man boss. So that did not help Platonic's cause at all, getting knocked over there. So trailing a little bit further behind.
There's somebody there.
Yeah, they are right on top of each other. Like while there have been some like changes, back and forth, we are still seeing them be, within one room of each other. So it's not really out of anyone's hands just yet. Anyone can really take the lead at this point. Okay, good. Got that backup guard. If you got knocked down again, that'd have been really troublesome. Oh, a little bit sloppy on that coolant rise, but he got the bomb defuse, and he still has some time to waste even. So I mean, so like there's a small mistakes, but it's still okay. And now we're reaching the very end of Bombs Falls will be to take care of Strut B and Strut C. Strut B is going to be a little interesting. We're going to be taking an intentional alert, if I remember correctly. We should be taking an intentional alert, I believe. Or no, sorry, normal. It will not be because of the M9. Because on normal you actually skip the M9. So pardon me. Yep. Now, they are running pretty low on their ammo count, so you don't have a lot of liberty on wasting shots here. So you need to make sure that you use all your M9 bullets effectively. And you can see her by the camera, but it's okay, because you being fast enough, they won't spawn behind you, but if you aren't fast enough, then as you see, they'll spawn in front of you, so for the Apache, he was a little bit faster and didn't need to waste that time shooting that guy, so another small thing, but you know, that one's very, very minor. Now grabbing sensor B, going down to defuse the bomb in the bathroom. And they're still pretty close. As you see, we have Platonic going for the long range defuse just to try to get a little bit of time back here. And getting caught again, but luckily 1M9 just does the trick. Why is Apache playing in French? Because it is faster, and I believe he just wants to play in French at the same time, so that's both beneficial to him. I think he just wants to play in French, and it is faster. At least according to Raichu, because I believe Raichu and or D-Lams crunched down the numbers a while ago for like text speeds. He has a thing for crepes. Never actually had crepes. I've heard good things about them, though. Now we're going to go to the roof of Sade to go and fight Fortune. And this could be a potential turning point, because you could potentially lose a fair bit of time here, so hopefully they both get Fortune correctly, and they can both just, you know, keep their place rather than having to worry about it swaying one way or another. Now, the main thing that you want to do during the Fortune fight is that you want to blow up the forklift as fast as possible. And that's like the main part of it. There's like some other small things as far as like blowing up other things that could be faster as well, but you know, just to keep it simple, you want to try and blow up that middle forklift as fast as possible. Because if you just kind of run around, she won't really do it immediately. And right on the submarine for the last bomb, quote unquote. Only 11 for snake tails. I see. And we have Apache starting the Fortune fight and Platonic right behind him. So these guys are still right on top of each other. Looks like he's doing a little punch buffer to make sure that he can get right in line with that forklift. These guys are doing fairly similar strats where they're just kind of staying in the same area. So if these guys both do it right, then they should be, both at the same pace that they came in here as. It looks like Platonic staring at the wall to save some like RTA time, perhaps. Apache not really doing that, he's kind of just lying on the ground. So we'll see if that comes into a factor here later. Blow up the yellow barrels now. Takes a little bit longer for Apache, but moving on to the next one, and gets that one. Ooh, Platonic having a real tough time trying to get that one to blow up. So again, trying to stare at the floor to try and save RTA time. Ooh, yeah. So they're still pretty close. I'd say that they like either kept the same distance or maybe it's shortened just a little bit. So very interesting to see how this is going to turn out. And now I think the real test here is going to be Fat Man, because that one can go a multitude of different ways because he can be quite random. Now they should be able to grab the Claymore, although with Platonic he actually blew up 2 of them, so I don't know how he's going to do this exactly. Yeah, they are very close to each other. They're super close. And looks like, at least from the streaming software, looks like Platonic has a slight lead now, actually, like a very slight lead. We're talking like, frames probably. Yeah, it's almost in sync. As they both leave, I don't see it. Wow, yeah, this is crazy. Look at this. You don't see this very often, where they're both just lined up. Yeah, so you see Apache fell behind now, but he did pick up the Claymore, which is going to be used for the Fat Man fight. So we'll have to see, that big difference in using the Claymore. To wait and see for that one. Maybe another crucial turning point if Platonic isn't as fast, even though, he has a pretty decent lead right now. Actually, no, it's still pretty close. Even with that Claymore pickup, it's still neck and neck. Wow.
Got a moment for a quick donation?
Oh, yep, sure, yeah.
All right, we had $26 come in from Beswick with no comment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up to 1,029. And with that, starting the Fat Man fight, Platonic starting a little bit earlier, but he does not have the Claymore to start off with, so see how this turns out. Goes and defuses the bomb immediately. Okay. And yeah, it looks like Platonic has pulled ahead. Yep, he has a pretty decent lead now by a good 5 seconds or so. What I have to do is defuse the final last bomb. I know that, we were supposed to defuse the last bomb like 3 times now, but like this is the actual last bomb. The Fat Man is dead. The Thick Man. Probably one of my favorite bosses for this game is Fat Man. Now we get a lot of cutscenes here from the ninja, explaining that we need to go to the Shell 1 core and disguise herself, and go and find Ames. One little cool thing that's specific to Very Easy is that you can find the AK weapon in Shell 1 core itself rather than going to Strut F, because that would be a longer, route going there, and that was found fairly recently as well. Fat Man, I don't like him. Oh. So now I see who has the fastest fingers here in order to skip all these cutscenes. Looks like it's still Platonic, so he hasn't given up his lead just yet.
While we have a moment here, I'd just like to remind everyone we still have some bid incentives here coming up. We still have Silent Hill's Blood Color. If you like to choose between black, green, normal, or violet, there is a separation of $9 between black and violet. We also have the Metal Gear Solid PC ending coming up. Meryl is way in the lead, so if you want the runners a little bit of break and let them skip the torture sequence, donate just for $95. You can catch that up.
Only $95. Wow. Thank you for that. Yeah, don't forget to donate towards the bid awards whenever you can. Now going to the Shell 1 core. Apache still trailing a little bit behind, but he's not too far behind. He is within arm's reach for sure. Now going in, grab the AK here. Quick menu to it. Noticed by the guard. Doesn't really matter though. Must be a new development because I hadn't, done that previously. So I guess you can fit one more little cartwheel in there. Always got to fit as many of those as you can. Now I have to go get the directional microphone between all these guards. But you're disguised with them, so it's not that big of a deal. But you still want to, get through this room as fast as you can. And there's gonna be a little mini cutscene here, and hopefully you can cartwheel while this mini cutscene goes on. And PlatonicGuy does get it, so not really that much of a hindrance. Apache unfortunately did not, so slight time waste. And now we have aims. Now the location of is going to be completely random because we are on new or like anything that's not new games. So this could be another turning point because they are fairly close to each other. To wait and see how this is going to turn out. And it looks like they're both doing the punch buffer strat to get out to where they can instantly choke and get to the retinal scanner. They're both successful with it.
Retinal pattern recognized. You are cleared to enter.
So like the best aims is going to be the first one right in front of you, but it's fairly uncommon. And see Apache going through here. Oh, finds a pretty decent aims. Now, can Apache get better luck? No, he has worse luck. Oh, no. Oh, he got the worst aims. It's all the way over here. So that's just bleeding more time, unfortunately. Could not catch a break from aims. And quickly skip through all these cutscenes and re-equipping the weapon so you can get out of here. And now they've removed the face mask, which is not big of a deal. And now the entire place is on caution, but it'll quickly, resolve once we leave here. As now Platonic has cemented a much bigger lead now. See how he does for his exit strategy. Ooh, does the hold up with the AK. Pressure sensitive PS3 AK hold up. Perhaps all the VR training has been helping him with that a little bit. And looks like Apache just waits a little bit longer to just slip right behind him. Since there's no caution, not a lot of guards are going to be here, so very easy to just grab the PSG-1, make our way out. And we're going to the Shell 1-2 connecting bridge to go and fight against the Harrier, but first we have to take out all of the IR sensors on the bridge. So I'll be seeing how that's going to go, because that can also be a bit of a time waste or a time gain. Right in crouch jump pause %. As you see, PlatonicGuy going into Shred D. The Shell and 2 bridge is going to be coming up here in a second. And all these rooms are just kind of just cartwheeling through, nothing really more to it than that. Just follow the pathway out to the exit. Not a lot of guards going to be in your way, so... So like, what needs to go right for like Apache is for like Platonic to have a not so good Harrier and for him to have a really good Harrier. So let's see if maybe can try and shorten the gap a little bit here. And oh, he's having a little bit of trouble on the sniping here. A little slow on that one. So perhaps he can, you know, take a small lead back with that. See how Apache does for his. Ooh, a little bit faster though, so that's good. Looks about the same speed, or like Apache was a little bit faster. So for the Harrier fight, I assume both these guys are going to be going for the 5-shot Harrier. We'll be shooting it 5 times as it's flying over us. Oh, he missed. That's not good. Oh, okay, so this is the time for like Apache to actually catch back up, because this is not the ideal Harrier at all. Last one. Oh, you got 4, didn't get the 5. Okay, so, but he got more than Platonic did, so he's in a better spot. It looks like he got... Yes, okay, so this is going to be really close now. I think Apache may just pull through with the lead. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, it was a little bit too off on the angle. So even though Platonic did not have the greatest of Harriers, Apache could not pull it back through, so he's probably going to, you know, decrease the lead a little bit, but not as much as he'd like to. So he's actually still in the fight. Oof. Yeah, so about the same lead, so nothing's really changed, but yeah, that was a really good recovery from Platonic. You know, he had a 3-shot start, and he still was able to manage to actually get out of here with the lead, regardless. And unfortunately for like Apache, he had a 4-shot start and did not really finish the fight extremely well, but it's not over just yet. There's still a lot of places where we can potentially have time save. What I'm really wanting to see is if maybe these guys have been practicing swim glitch, because I think I'm still the only one who really does it. I think D-Lams can do it, but he opts not to really do it, so I wonder if any of these guys are going to be going for the swim glitch in desperation. I don't think anyone will, but it's just, you know, fun to theorize about. And taking the intentional alert here, as you can see, with the jammed radar, just to get a little mini cutscene there. Throwing the last chaff grenade to make sure that it does not get hit by these ciphers. And we are in Shell 2 now. As you see during this little cutscene part, he's going to be moving to the left because you will regain control with the D-mic facing, you know, wherever you were facing. So that's a small time save. Now we're going to be going for the Nikita downstairs in the swimming section. Apache finally makes his way through and about to gain control again. And the mandatory codec call for swimming. And luckily the Nikita is fairly close to us. As you can see, it's right there. Don't even need to, you know, go down, just straight swim to it. The underwater section gave you nightmares as a kid. But, well, if you're playing this on the PS2, you know, I can probably see why, because it feels like you're swimming through molasses. But on the HD collection, it's a bit better. And also the mines, yeah, the mines are pretty spooky. It's just crazy how, like, Raiden can, like, grab that, and he's so high up, swimming, and, like, then Nikito's, like, way far below, and he can just instantly just, you know, pick it up. That's very interesting. Who the heck just carried mines down there? That's a fantastic question. Maybe Vamp, because he's just waiting for you there. Maybe he was just bored while, like, he's waiting and just prop some mines there or something. I don't know. That's a good question. The mysteries of the world. And you see PlatonicGuy talking with President Johnson, as Apache is about to blow up the panel to talk to President Johnson. And I don't think either of these guys will be going for the swim glitch. Maybe for like Apache, but I don't think anyone's really using it. Let's wait and see though. Say there's like a 10% chance it gets used, but highly unlikely. Especially because this is a marathon setting, and messing up on that, it can be huge. But if you want to bet it all on one glitch, then may as well go for it, right? And another thing is like not only for the swim glitch is that just playing out through Vamp 1, we're gonna find him twice, can also be a bit of a lead change as well, because they'll both be going for the Stinger strat where they just shoot him with the Stinger missile launcher. And, you know, if you slip up with that, then you'll be wasting a fair bit of time, so... And as you see, we have PlatonicGuy not going for the swim glitch. He's just opting to just swim this out as normal. And yep, they're both not going for the swim glitch. So let's see if PlatonicGuy can successfully do the lethal vamp strat and not mess it up, because that would make for a pretty decent lead, and that would then have to have Apache not screw it up as well. So far so good on Platonic's side. And doesn't get much better than that. Just perfectly executed lethal vamp. So now I have to see how Apache responds with that, because he pretty much needs to get that if he wants to have a good chance at trying to come back here. But it's definitely not over yet, by any means. But it's just a small lead right now from Platonic. Oh no, and with that, yeah, so he has to restart immediately because he doesn't want to go through all that. That's unfortunate. Second attempt here. This one looks like this will be successful. Okay, so we got a second try. Unfortunately, did not get it done the first time, but we had a good showing for the second one. And now that we are at the Emma section, it's going to be a lot slower until... Oh, okay, looks like I am back on comms. Okay, cool. Very short break, but hey, you got fixed, so yeah. For whatever reason, it yeah, it's a technical issue, but it's fine, it's fine. And you got to hear my little keyboard sounds, I guess, right? I came in, but yeah. So anyway, now that I've got that out, okay, let me refocus because I lost all focus because I was just trying to get that resolved or try to let people know about that. So, looks like we have PlatonicGuy still in the lead, and he is just gently grabbing Emma by the neck and then showing her way to the elevator to go back up to floor 1. And Apache unfortunately getting stuck on that corner there. He's not too far behind, but he's a fair bit behind. No longer within arm's reach, but he can still make a comeback if things go wrong. Now, I don't know Platonic's PB, and I don't know if he's exactly on PB pace here. I have to double check with that, but with that 3-shot Harrier, I'm unsure, but this is looking fairly good so far from PlatonicGuy. And I assume both these guys are going to be going for the Emma bump. Or, you know, at the very least, it's going to be done through Apache. See if PlatonicGuy goes for it. Nope, just opts to walk straight through. I guess he's watching the stream and knows that he has a pretty big sizable lead. Doesn't want to give it up to that, so we're probably going to see Apache do the Emma bump, and what that basically does is we have to bump Emma through the loading zone to the next room, and if we are successful, then she will spawn further up in the room, and we can just, you know, shorten the distance. But if you do it wrong, she will spawn underneath the level, and you'll be soft locked. So we'll have to see how this goes. Now, I want to jinx it, but this soft lock has happened before on this Twitch channel. I can't remember if it was Forensic or Pythonicus or myself, but I believe one of us had done that, and both of them do not go for it. Okay, so that's good at least. We can at least see both the runs end in their entirety. Hi, it me. Okay, it's Pythonicus. Thank you, Pythonicus. Against you. I remember it was against me, but I couldn't remember exactly who did it or I did. I remember it was like either me, you, or Forensic, so I remember it was a little hazy, but now one other small time save that could be potentially coming up is it's actually choking her all the way over there. Is you can have Emma fall over if you stare at her incorrectly, quotation marks, and I'll lose you about 8 seconds. So best thing that can happen right now for Apache is to have PlatonicGuy's Emma fall over and then have his just stand upright. And as you see, they give you a lot of ammo, thermal goggles, and Pentasmin, so they give you a bunch of stuff here. And we skip the PSG-1T, so it's going to be murdering all these guys. And Apache not getting the best here for going into the siphon section. Unfortunately, it was a little bit slow at that. You see, PlatonicGuy is just not looking anywhere near Emma. He just to fall over. That'd be a pretty big time loss. And unfortunately, this is kind of like an auto-scroller section where we don't have a whole lot going on, so I can't really talk about much other than they're just going to shoot people, they're going to shoot ciphers, and they're just going to do the thing. But just to remind you folks, if you guys are just now tuning in, we are not done yet. We are in the final stretch, though, and coming up next, we have Silent Hill 1 UFO ending by Couchman, and there's an active bid war going on for that for the blood color, so make sure that you guys donate towards that and stay tuned for that Silent Hill 1 run. Looks like Apache called in for Snake. I just had glanced back over and I saw that he was talking to Snake on the codec. It's interesting. Unless that's whenever he shows up right there and I just hadn't paid attention. Again, huge shoutouts to the Metal Gear speedrunning crew, to all the staff there, Roy, Chuza, and everyone for putting this together, and Raichu for getting the opportunity to showcase Metal Gear Solid 3 at the next GDQ coming up here in January. Not gonna lie, boys, it's looking pretty rough. It's okay, Apache, we believe in you. You can pull back through. Don't be like me and give up. Because you are within more of a reach than I was at MGS3. At least the music here is really nice. It's like one of the more boring / uneventful sections, but at least the music here is fairly good and it's good to listen to. Why is it on very easy? Because that is the difficulty that they had both requested and have selected for the race. Yeah, for a good while, you guys were pretty neck and neck. It was only until Ames where things started to kind of get out of hand, and then the Harrier. So I mean, up until that point, that's what 25 plus minutes of just being neck and neck. That's pretty impressive. And with that, we have Platonic rounding the next corner and heading on out as he is killing birds for some reason. I guess because he's bored. As Apache just takes the scenic route and just wants to look at the sunset. Practice his punch kick for the Tengu 1 fight coming up. And for this next vamp fight, it's going to be pretty simple. Just shoot him in the head once. And both of these guys have not had Emma fall over, so it won't be really any lead changes at all, unless for menus and such. And just like that, PlatonicGuy is done with Vamp 2, making his way to Shell 1 to the elevator to start Arsenal Gear, which is the end game, essentially. We had that fight with the Harrier, and then the Vamp fight, and then with that mode, things kind of slowed down a bit, and now we're getting right back into the action with Arsenal Gear. Just slows down quite a bit. Well, mainly slows down at getting towards the end. MGS1 is kind of similar in that regard too, with the PAL key cards as well. That one's kind of a slower section. Then you have MGS3 with the EVA escort. So I mean, the first 3 games all have their little moments of just slowing down a bit and just, you know, because like you have like high action and then it just kind of slows down a bit. And get right into it, we actually hear Ocelot talk for probably the first time in the game. You don't really hear him talk too much. And for this little quote-unquote torture sequence, you don't actually have to press anything. If you just don't press anything, you'll never lose health, so... I don't know why they really did this, but, you know, may as well give yourselves a little rest. Well, I misspoke, because Platonic wants to flex a little bit and want to mash triangle to kind of warm up his hands, I guess. I usually use that as a break. First time, yeah, pretty much the first time that like you'll hear him in the speedrun is scene right there. You may hear him once or twice, like for like the aims scene, and that's about it. Yeah. For the speedrun, yeah. Oh, yeah. He talks a lot during the story, but yeah, for the speedrun, you only hear him. And get a little pinch on the wrist by Olga as she takes away about 1.2 HP from you, which is literally nothing. On the higher difficulties, it's much severe, but for very easy, it's literally nothing. Yeah, like, he'll say, like, king at the very most. Most of the time, I just hear because I'm just mashing through it. But yeah, like, one of the very few times, it's a small handful of times, like, you'll hear him talk during the run. Now we have Naked Raiden. This is pretty straightforward. Gonna be knocking into this guy, knocking him out. And we're actually kind of in an in-between status of alert and like non-alert, so then this quickly wears off, so kind of weird. Naz now goes into the Ascendant colon, has to go through all these codec calls, and the most important thing is that you want to stay in the northern part of the tube, but not all the way north. You kind of want to stay like in the middle of the entrance and the door, so. And just a reminder for everyone that the time for this will stop on the last hit of Solidus, which will be coming up here shortly. And getting the last codec call. Oh, and Apache unfortunately gets the alert in its fullest, so he's actually going to be taking some damage here, it looks like. He's going to be taking at least one hit, most likely, yep. Little punch. Only one hit, so that's fine. And getting the sword from Snake, all you need to do is you slash it once, and then there's a virtual timer that will start to tick down. So as long as you slash it once, but if you don't slash it at all, it'll just stay here forever, and then like you need to slash it at least once because the game wants you to practice. Found that out whenever I tried to play this game with an arcade stick, and I didn't have anything bound to my right stick, so I was like, oh, I guess I have to plug in my controller now. It was kind of depressing. Now PlatonicGuy is just going to be waiting. while we have Apache just answering all these codec calls. And now for the Tengu 1 fight. So the whole idea for this fight is that we're going to be going to the end hallway as fast as possible and then going up to the door and doing a punch kick while in first-person view. And we're going to be releasing first-person view in order to actually have Red and Hitbox go further behind him to actually hit the load zone for the next room. Now, normally this would cause a soft block because the game actually checks for your keycard level. But for this door in particular, it doesn't really check, so it's all that you do this, and as you can see, you'll just go on through. And that's the Tengu 1 fight. And for the Tengu 2 fight, it's going to be a big murder fest, where it's going to be using the Stinger missile launcher to take out all of the Tengus, even as they're spawning in at this little balcony area here. Most people don't really know that you can actually do this because it's just like, no one really thinks about doing this. I know that whenever I was like first trying it out, I'm like, use the Stinger while they're on the floor, then look up and like, oh yeah, they kind of spawn in through here, and then tried it out and like, oh yeah, you can shoot them while they're up there. But yeah, it doesn't require a key card, but whenever you go into one, it would usually check. I'm just, saying for like example, for, like the other doors as well. Because like typically if you're going through a door that like you're not supposed to be going through, it would check for your key card first. Oh, you press select? Oh no. Okay, back up. Okay, he got it. Whew. Apache pressing select first. That's been a little slip of the hands, but he's on through now. And with that, PlatonicGuy is now finishing Tengu 1, and Apache's starting Tengu 2. So one boss fight behind, essentially.
だが、よく考えれば悪くない計画とも言えるな。毒を持って毒を制す。スネークの兄弟である私を倒すための資格としては最適だ。S3 計画、ソリッドスネークシミュレーション。This
little speech is not skippable, so just have to sit around here and wait. And for very easy, we're going to have a really hard task of taking out an entire 3 Metal Gear Rays here. And this fight will be over, if you blink, so watch out for it. What is he spinning on? He's spinning on his suits. They have made it very nimble for him, and such. He's just a spinning top. 3 entire Metal Gear Rays. I know. That's 2 more than in Metal Gear Solid 1. So you gotta fight 3 of them. It's crazy. But Raiden's just so good that he just takes them out very quickly. How's he even walk around without slipping? Very carefully. See, look. I have Apache doing it too. And with their mouth open, one shot kills them, and then one final one. And that is the Ray fight. Save boss defeated. Very common to just mash through that cutscene and just accidentally hit yes. Now going through the torture sequence. Compared to the PS2 versions, this is much easier. Because there's, I guess, a lot of complaints and just quality of life because he wants to be mashing for like 40 to 50 seconds, right? So I guess I'll make it a little bit more realistic. He even let his health drop a little bit, or sorry, the O2 gate, excuse me. Now with that, PlatonicGuy is going to be starting on Solidus. As Apache just follows right behind him with finishing the race section. And again, just a reminder that the time will stop on the last hit of Solidus. Last bit of cutscenes here for PlatonicGuy and the last codex until we get to the Solidus fight. Apache struggling a little bit with the mashing part, but losing health isn't the biggest deal. He's probably just casually mashing through it because you have a very big health bar. He does almost no damage to you. So it's going to be slashing him 3 times with the blade. Oh, missed the stab, unfortunately. Tom's struggling a little bit. I don't know if he'll screw up enough for Apache to come back. Doesn't look like it. Yep. Okay. There's a small little hiccup there from PlatonicGuy, and going into phase 2 now. Again, the same strategy, except for now he to remove the octopus on his back. Now it's just regular Solidus. For whatever reason, this makes him stronger. I don't know why. And people's elbow, which you want, is the fastest attack that he can do out of that. And unfortunately, gave him a long attack out of that. And time on Platonic. So good game to PlatonicGuy. Congratulations on the win in this race. It was still very close. Even towards the end, it wasn't that far behind. It was just going into aims and the Harrier were the big tipping points, but other than that, it was fairly close the entire time. As you see now, Apache going into phase 2 now. They'll be finishing very shortly. I assume once they're both done, we can perhaps get them both in here for some words if they would like to, but if not, that's okay as well. And it looks like we don't have any new donations, but guys, make sure that, you know, if you got even $2 or $3 to spare, make sure that you donate to this cause to get our friend Raichu going to here, and we have a lot of good bid awards going on right now. Time coming up on Apache here soon, and time. And with that, that concludes the MGS2 VE race. GG's to both of these guys. They both played very well. Very close race.
Do you remember this place?
Of course. This is where we first met.
Hey, Apache.
I remember now.
I wasn't sure if I was to go or...
Today is the day I
Yeah.
met you.
GG, dude.
GG, Apache.
Yeah,
Very
man.
good race.
I'm so happy I didn't mess up anywhere, like any big mess ups. That's what I was worried about.
Is that going to PB for you? That's
I
like, it seems like
think
a really
so.
good time. Yeah. It might even for me, you know.
Let me just go to the Twitch channel real quick because I'm only reading chat. Let me see. So it was 105.25 for the RTA. Let me just cruise on over here to the speedrun.com boards, which I've heard that they've been having issues all day.
118 or something.
Yeah, like... I feel
What's
so
his
out of
credit
my
freeze
depth on
now?
console. Like, I definitely feel so out of my depth on console, man.
I mean, if this was PC, you'd be like 3 minutes ahead. I don't know how to play PC.
If we have the rematch, it's got to be on PC. But yeah, you're definitely a much better player than me on the console and on this category. Much respect, man. It was a good race. You know,
Yeah,
I
it
made
was-
mistakes. I definitely made
How
big
was your Harrier,
mistakes.
by the way? Because I only got
It was
3
trash.
shots.
That was
Yeah.
trash.
Oh.
Yeah, like both of you didn't have the exact Harriers that we both wanted, which was interesting because you had Platonic in the lead, you know, got the 3 shot, and then he was struggling, and then you had Apache start it, and then he got 4 shot. So that was interesting to see how that turned out, and you somehow managed to pull it back from the 3 shot.
I got 4+1, and
Yeah.
your Harrier still finished quicker than mine, so you pulled it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the game over at Vamp, and that was just like.
Oh, you
shouldn't
got
have
game over as
unfortunate.
well.
Yeah, he had failed the lethal first try and then got it perfectly the second time.
Oh.
Obviously, that's unfortunate.
Because I was wondering, like, it seemed
Oh, my
like you
game
were
just
so
crashed.
close to me. Oh, pff.
Oh, was you a credits freeze?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've never had
no.
I've never had this before.
Okay,
Wow.
and funny enough, looking at your TA, that would have been a PB by almost a minute on the board.
Yeah, well,
Like.
cool. Well, you know, that's Tonic Guy. I think I can definitely improve that time, but you know, there's no Johns here, man. You're a much better player today.
By the way,
So-
are we behind schedule or anything?
Let me check.
Because I'm not recording. I didn't expect.
Looks like we are a little bit behind schedule. Now, while this is a PB, I can maybe get some confirmation from other people to see
If they allow, I don't mind.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get some confirmation from other people that are organizing this, because I would say yes, but if we need to get a move on, then unfortunately you may have to just cut it off.
Yeah, that's fine.
I wonder who's next.
gonna
It's
ask.
Casper in Silent Hill, so he's probably the best person to ask. And then there's Metal Glenn and Mike Mint after that. So
Okay, so
can you not just hit your local recording button now and then just like edit
I'll
them
do it.
together? I don't think anyone's gonna say this run was fake when it was done on stream.
Alright, I just turned it on, just in case.
yeah, so you can just kind of attach it on afterwards
Yep.
if it for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm just getting some confirmation now if we are wanting to go on to the next runner.
That's actually hilarious that my credits froze. I've never had that before on console.
Really?
You know,
Yeah.
I was thinking, before the race, like if I didn't PB or anything, that I would intentionally cause a credit freeze by just watching the cutscenes at the end. It happens for me. As soon as I watch any of the cutscenes at the end, it will credit freeze 100%. So I was thinking of doing that.
It's a fantastic game that we all run here, right?
So we did get the go ahead and wait for the score screen here. So yeah, get your wish. So
I think what's brilliant is a lot of people have had PBs, right? Like Raichu had
Yeah.
a massive PB. A few people have PB'd in their games. There's been really good luck.
there was another one yesterday. I forget who it was, but someone PB'd yesterday, I think. Oh,
PB
Joseph.
Dro-
Joseph.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
massive
Joseph
PB
did.
for Joseph.
Raichu by 2 minutes. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, congratulations to Raichu for meeting the goal. You will be going to GDQ, which I think is important to all of us, right? Seeing MGS games run at GDQ is a massive deal for the scene, right?
Yeah, for sure.
My
for sure.
credits are going real slowly on
Oh,
the
no.
stream. I don't know why.
Please no.
Maybe bitrate. Maybe bitrate.
It's fine on my end. Maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe my internet is...
Yeah, maybe just that. But I mean, if it was fine on your end, then don't worry about it. It may just be some connection issue.
Yeah, it's not the PS3 or anything. That would be weird. Credit freeze and now credit lag.
Credit lag.
What was your aims, by the way?
It was at the end of the first row. I saw that you got a really bad one.
got
I was
the
like,
worst
oh,
one.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I got the very worst one. That was like the start of the like lead piling on to Platonic was like that right there.
Yeah, I mean, after Harrier, it was fine. If I hadn't have had such a bad vamp, I think even without the game over at vamp, I still would have lost. It just wouldn't have been as by as
it would have
much,
been
right?
really close.
Yeah, it would have been much closer. Like you guys were like still fairly close, like, regardless, but yeah, would have been a bit closer with that.
I think overall, you know, Platonic just moves better than I do. He's got a better control of Raiden. You went for some risky stuff, right? But that doesn't affect your actual control of the character. I saw you go for the damage cancel mine. Like I was like, yes, Tino.
Oh, you mean at the end of Fortune?
No, on the EF bridge.
Yeah. For the Claymore, and then you got knocked over.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah. It's just I don't know how to do the other one. I've never practiced it, so this is the one that I'm used to.
It's dead simple. Just after Fortune, you leave your M9 on, so coolant's on your previous.
I already did that, but just I've never
You roll
practiced
from, like,
where
the
the
line.
position is.
It's dead easy. There's a line on the floor.
So what was your guys' like most difficult thing going into this run? Like we're
Ladder
expecting
glitch.
ladder glitch, really?
For me, ladder glitch is like 50% of my restarts.
Oh,
I
wow.
practiced for an hour before it, and I was considering not doing it at all.
Wow.
I was crazy nervous. I don't know why. Like I in tanker,
was
my
as
hands were
well.
like literally shaking.
Hmm.
I don't know why I was so nervous.
I'm not really listening in, so I don't know how deep in the song we are. It looks like we're getting towards the end of the song, right?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay, yeah. I just had to listen to it real quick. Just like I said, coming up next we have Couchman doing Silent Hill 1 UFO ending, and we still have a little bit of time now that we have to wait for this score screen to get the last bit of the bid war for the blood. And Airfam, do you mind updating us on what exactly that is?
Yep, let's refresh the page here and look. All right, we've got black sitting at $1 for the blood, green 0, normal 0, violet at $10. And then we still have Metal Gear Solid PC ending. Meryl is still sitting at $325, not insurmountable. If you want to give the runners a little bit of the easy time and let Otacon be saved, he is sitting at $230, just $96 will let him be saved.
All right, thank you so much for that. And with that, we'll go into the score screen here just to confirm. And the IGT
1442.
Yep, that is 59-second
Congrats,
PB.
dude.
Yeah, congrats on the
Very,
PB.
very nice.
And since we are a little bit behind schedule, just gonna get on out here really quickly and hope you guys enjoy Couchman. And he will have Andy on for commentary. Hope you guys enjoy that run. And thanks guys for racing.
Thanks, guys. See you later.